facial of you.
Yeah, you are live now.
You're live. You can start.
Does she have to fix it there?
I fix it there, yes.
Name special key.
No, columns.
Huh?
हाँ, clear recording है, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
बस आपको थोड़ा सा हल्का सा स्लिप हो रहा होगा ना तो स्ट्रेट रखो आप। नहीं स्ट्रेट रखो। ओके, दैट्स इट। Yeah, that's it.
I don't.
So is it okay? Well, I want to welcome each and every one of you for this morning session. I'm very happy that you are here. Oh, the mic. Oh my goodness, I have to hold this all the time? Okay.
I have
So,
this.
I want to welcome each and every one of you for this morning session. This is a beautiful morning, and I hope all of you are present here.
Can you increase the volume?
All of you are present here in the real sense. So, is that better? Oh my goodness.
You keep speaking, I'll fix it when you're
So shall I just keep it down?
Yeah, and I'll fix it.
That's better for me. Is that better?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, if I don't have to hold it, that's better.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope each and every one of you is present here and now. Not only physically, but with your body. I know you are physically present here. We all are. But is your mind here? Is your heart here? Is your being here? Your spiritual being, is it here? So we need to learn the art of presence, being present in this moment, now. And that's a profound art. It's not easy. I want to share with you an insight that I had on this chart this morning. This chart shows that we are the world outside, full of people and objects, and animals and plants and all that, all this world. Then we see our own body. But that body, our perception of our body is our memory. What we remember our body as, I'm so and so, I'm of this age, I'm of this gender, I'm so old, I'm so smart, I'm so brilliant, or whatever is that. That is my body. I'm so handsome. Then there is the mind. Mind is thoughts and feelings. Thoughts is mainly what we talk to ourselves internally. That is mainly the left cerebral hemisphere, the verbal hemisphere, which keeps talking and talking. It's our voice within, which goes on and on and on. Even if there is nobody listening, who is listening? It becomes a circle, a loop. We talk and listen to ourselves, and that becomes a loop, Vichar Chakra, or the thought process. And sometimes very hard to get out of it. We say something that is good and encouraging, sometimes we say something negative and discouraging. And we get caught in this vicious circle of inner speech or inner talk in our left hemisphere, mainly, which is the dominant hemisphere. And so we are caught up in this vichar chakra or the inner voice and the conversations with ourselves. And therefore, we give too much importance to words and language and speech. And we don't really see things as they are. The beauty, the wonder of the nature, we don't see that. We are kind of blind to it, deaf to it. But the right hemisphere is more trying to understand. It is more attentive. It tries to see what is going on and comprehend. The left hemisphere tries to grab things with the right hand. I want this, I don't want that, or whatever. Use this tool or that tool or whatever. But the right hemisphere is more, pays attention to the whole big picture, the surroundings, and tries to understand the situation, what is going on. And is something threatening or is there something inviting? We constantly watch. Is there any danger or is there an opportunity? Are these friends or these are foes? Are these enemies or these are my friends or relatives? And then we have all those thoughts, positive thoughts give you positive feeling, feel good, happy, peaceful. Or negative thoughts gives you anger, fear, hatred, sadness, all these things. But what is beautiful, we know up to all this, the picture. But when we learn to really stay quiet, calm our voice, inner voice, calm our memory, calm our negative emotions, then you go to a deeper stage of being. Now, being is pure awareness, is self-aware being, is our, at the individual level, it is our Jivatma. At the universal level, it is Paramatma, the divine being, the God, one and only, non-dual, Nirguna, Niraka. At the individual level, it is Jivatma. We just celebrated Ram Navami, and Hanuman said to Sri Rama at one time, Deha bhavena dasosmi, jiva bhavena tvadamshakaha, atma bhavena tvamevaham, iti me nishchitamati. When I consider myself as only as the physical body, I am your servant, Das. When I consider myself as a jiva, I am your amsh, a fragment, a small fraction of your being. But when I have the Atma Bhava, the holistic awareness, the holy being, energy awareness being, when I am that, then I am you. This is my full conviction. And the whole Vedanta is about that. What's your perspective? Like Ramana Maharshi always asks, who are you? And that question is not easy to answer. Who are you? But it exposes your state of mind at this time. Who do you think you are? Is it the physical body? Is it the mind? Or is it the self, the ego? Or is it the being? And the being, not only individual being as Jivatma, but the transcendent being or the universal being, which is Paramatma. In a way, we are spiritual beings living a human life in a human body. So, we normally just look at from the mind, body and outside. That's all we look at. We are not aware of what is deeper than thoughts and feelings, what is deeper to them. And that's what we need to learn in meditation. Close your eyes and forget your world. Then stop talking, start listening. And then just be aware of your thoughts and feelings. And continue to be aware till you come to the level of presence. Presence is self-aware being. Like Naneshwari, in his first line, very beginning, he says, Om Namoji Atma, Veda Pratipadya, Jai Jai Swasamvedya Atma Rupa. Om Namoji Adya. Adya means primeval, primordial. Veda Pratipadya, what has been described by the Vedas. Jai Jai Swasamvedya. Sambit means awareness. Swa means yourself. Swasamvid means self-awareness. Swasamvidya Atma Rupa means the being, the spiritual being. So at that level of spiritual being, you are self-aware fully. You are like this flame of awareness. The flame doesn't need another light to know itself. It knows itself. That spiritual being or the inner being knows itself. You don't need another person to know that. You already know who you are. But you have to know the innermost being of your existence, your existential being or the essence of it, which is the same as divine or spiritual or sacred or Paramatma. And the flame cannot be described because it has so many aspects. It is like a cosmic event. It is a universal event. The whole atmosphere is involved, the fuel is involved, the heat is involved, the whole thing is involved. It's a very dynamic process. Same thing is true about our presence, our awareness. Our awareness is very complex. And whole neuroscience is dealing with it. And I want to share with you the latest model in neuroscience. Maybe I should come here. I'm sorry, Anju. So, this model is called the triple network. There are 3 neuroelectric networks in the brain. And these 3 networks, they process different aspects of our mental activity and physical activity. The first network is what is called the default mode network. Default mode network is in the middle of the brain and is continuously active and is always self-referential. It is autobiographical. I, me, mine, all that goes on there in the middle of the brain on both sides. It's also involved hippocampus, which involves the memory. Not only the current memory, but the recent memories and the autobiographical memories. Our whole concept of ourself, our Jivatma or Dehatma. So this is, and it's processing information about ourselves and others. And it continuously active, but it goes round and round in circle because it's always about me, me, me. Me and mine, always. Till you learn to calm down in meditation. And in meditation, it does calm down, default mode network. This has been shown. The second network is I want to show you this. This is called the future or the executive network. Executive network means you take action, you do something, you react to something. Not only that, you keep the instructions in your mind. Like somebody tells you that get ready, I'm going to tell you something so and so. So you keep those instructions in your brain, in your mind, for 20 to 30 seconds. You can like 7 to 9 items as instructions before you act. And this is a unique, this dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This is a unique evolutionary development in the brain. Of course, the monkeys and higher primates also have this. If you give them instructions, their brain keeps firing till you tell them do what you ask them to do. So it holds that live information in the brain for 20 to 30 seconds, which is not a simple job. And then, when you do that, then those instructions are gone. So what happens, although we keep on planning for the future all the time, and then what that does is our mind and our energy is completely preoccupied with either the past or the future. We are either living in the past, I, me, mine, so and so, or living in the future, I want to do this, I don't want to do this, what he will do, what she will do, all this. And that's why we suffer between these two ends. But in the middle is what is called the salience network. Salience network is also the network that supports the presence of mind or the presence of heart, presence of being. And this network is activated from reticular activating system in the brainstem that activates the limbic system, and the limbic system then activates the cortex. It is like that flame. And again, like that flame, it is a very complex process. Multiple neurotransmitters are involved. Multiple electrochemical events are involved. And all that wakes you up in the morning. How do you wake up? All that process has to happen to wake you up from the brainstem and wake up the cortex and wake up all the memories, and then you reorient yourself. I live in this house and all that. It happens every morning. If it doesn't happen, you will be lost. So this salience network is the present. So think of it as past, present and future. Triple network, default network, salience network and executive network. And we need to learn to shift from these two to this one in the middle. As Raman Maharshi says, live in the present. Past and future are not true. They don't exist. They exist only in the mind. It's only your mind that creates the experience of the world, the body, all the features of the body, and thoughts and emotions are all created from your memory. So, and then stop worrying about the future. Pay attention to the present. See what is in front of you. Listen to that cardinal or the mourning dove, whatever bird you are in front of. Listen to it. Take a picture of it, take a video of it. That's what I did. I have taken videos of cardinals singing, mourning doves singing, woodpeckers singing. And this happens only for a few seconds. They don't wait for you. They have their own life. But you have to pause when you are walking, pay attention to it, focus your camera, listen to it, and then that becomes the loop of live information. That is the living information. This also is a live loop now. I'm speaking, you are listening, and making some sense of it. And I'm speaking again and you are listening again. This becomes a loop or a network of communication. That's how we communicate with each other, through language. But communication can be not only through language, but also without language. Just a smile is enough. You don't need words. When you fall in love, you don't need to give a lecture there or talk. Just your smile and your expressions and bodily gestures are enough to convey to the other person that you are in love. Same is true. So, in fact, we want to shift our being from the talkative left hemisphere to the listening and understanding right hemisphere, and then finally to the subcortex, reticular limbic system. I wrote an article about it, that we have these three modes of attention: verbal attention, non-verbal attentiveness or alertness, and the limbic arousal, where you are not only attentive, but you are also passionate about it. You are truly interested in it. Your heart is in it. You are fully present. And we need to learn to be fully present and appreciate life as it flows. Otherwise, we will miss the present. Most people are blind and deaf. They don't see life as it is. They don't listen to birds. They don't look at the flowers. They miss God in everything that is around them. God is everywhere all the time. Don't we call it omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent? Does it have any meaning? Or they are just words? Or they are in some kind of image or word? It is here and now. So once you learn to be present in your own being, that individual, personal being, self-aware being, silent, peaceful, open the door to the divine. You reach the Vishwatma or Paramatma through your Jivatma, through your own individual being. There is no other way. You're not going to find God here or there. It's going to be through your own being, through your own heart. Silent, peaceful. Shantoyamatma. So this is a good model to understand. It gets rather technical, but I hope you got some idea about it. There are many details. But I just want you to become aware of this, that neuroscience has come to the level where we can understand what happens electrophysiologically, biophysically, bioelectrically, in all these different states of mind. We studied Upanishad, we studied first Upanishad we studied, we talked about Om and wakeful state, dream state, sleep state, and Turiya, the fourth state. We talked about that. So, all these states, our body, mind, and ego are going through that. There is a circadian rhythm. We are in the cosmic cycle, solar cycle, lunar cycle. All that is happening. Our brain is continuously interacting with the whole cosmos, with the whole universe, with the whole nature. And how you appreciate, how you relate to nature is a profound thing. In fact, it has been described in Vedic literature. There are 4 different ways of relating to nature or God or the Supreme Being. One is Salokya. Salokya means me or I and the divine or nature are in the same world. So we coexist. I'm here and he's there. I'm here and he is there. Or I'm here and nature is out here. That is called sarokya. Then second one is samipya. Samipya means I feel close to nature. I feel close to the flower, the bird, the clouds, the sunset. I love nature. Same way I feel close to God. I love God. That is samipya. Then sarupya. Sarupya means what's happening in me is something similar to what's happening in the whole cosmos. After all, the biophysical forces are the same all over the world. There are new theories in quantum physics talking about electric universe. The whole universe is bioelectric, biophysical. And we have patterns of activity in this bioelectric field, and there are fields within field. It is called holarchy, whole within whole. It's like a pregnant woman that has a baby in its baby. So we are like babies or children of the divine, of nature, of God, or whatever you want to call them. So, and we are constantly interacting with the surroundings. Our very existence, our very living is participating. So the whole organization is participatory. In biology, biophysics, we call it self-organizing system. But there is no self as such. The whole thing is interacting with everything else. All the parts participate to create the whole, and the whole influences all the parts. So the brain is continuously changing, whether you like it or not, whether you are aware of it or not, because you are receiving all this living, live information, all these signals from all over the cosmos. And the brain is, after all, an electrophysiological organ, electrochemical organ, which receives it, transforms it, and sends it out back and forth. It becomes an energy, awareness, and information loop. Now let me share with you about Atma. Atma Upanishad is a small Upanishad, just 3 paragraphs, 3 simple ideas. First one is Bahyatma, second one is Antaratma, and the third one is Paramatma. That's all. And it describes Bahyatma as all the details of the anatomy of the human body, basically. And then Antaratma is the so-called mind or mental activity. And that, it describes all the mental activity, thought, feelings, language, words, speech, everything. And finally Paramatma, which is beyond all this. And what it says, how do you understand this? He says it's like teaching a child. A mother takes her little baby out in the yard and wants to show her the moon. Now, the moon is far away. The baby can't really see that. So what the mother tells the baby, look at this tree. Look at the branch of that tree, and just above that branch is the moon. It's Chandra Shakha Nyaya. Chandra Shakha Nyaya means for a child or any student, you cannot directly point Paramatma or to the divine being or the Atman, Brahman. You cannot directly point. You cannot objectify it. What you can do is you can point to the physical body, you can point to the mental activity, and beyond the physical activity and mental activity is that. That's why it says, you are that. I am. And that means the transcendent being, or the universal being, or the cosmic being, or Paramatma, or Ishvara. You cannot objectify, you can make it like this. So the point is then, how do we go beyond the physical activity and the mental activity? Again, forget about body as an object. Body is an object. It is a very dynamic process. Millions of processes are happening in the body. The heart is pumping, lungs are breathing, liver, kidneys, everything is happening. It's very complex. It's a universe in itself. And mind is complex too. A lot of processes are happening. So think of body and mind more as activities. Bodily activity and mental activity. Then it becomes manageable. Because activity is manageable. Activity has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And we need to understand like this. See, listen to this. See, all activity is discipline. That is the beauty of it. Every sound dissipates into silence. So you strike the bell in silence. And silence is the great wonder, is the Paramatma, the God, the divine silence. That is the base of everything that exists, that's happening at the mental level. Similarly, breathing, at the physical level, breathing is a simple process. Take a breath out and feel what was before and what is after. And you come to the baseline of the physical activity. That is the sort of minimal physical activity. That's why so many meditative techniques use breath to pay attention to become aware of, and to know the gap between two breaths, stillness between breaths, the silence between two sounds. Same thing about speech. Learn to recognize the silence between two words, two thoughts. Don't just keep talking and talking and talking endlessly, then you will never get to that silence. So, one of the ways to consider body and the mental activity, thoughts and feelings as transient. They come and go. If you get angry, if you pause and wait long enough, the anger dissipates. You cannot stay angry for a whole month or for a week or whatever. The anger, the intensity naturally dissipates. The fear also. If you just watch it, witness, the word that is used is sakshiva. Witness of all these events, physical events, mental events. Be a witness. And being a witness means if you are watching a wonderful bird that I recently took a picture, the father cardinal was feeding his baby with seeds. And I got a video of it. That's amazing. There is love in nature all over. There is love in animals. We can learn a little bit from the animals, birds, because we have forgotten what it is like to love others, to love each other. We have forgotten that. We become too self-centered. too selfish, too self-dominant. Anyway, so, and when you are in that state of love, there is no ego. It's just a process, a natural process which is effortless, egoless, spontaneous, silent, serene, still. So we need to discover more and more of that. And where the unity comes, because there is no separate ego that is holding on to itself, but is directly hugging the baby, hugging the child, hugging nature. There is one process, one life. So in fact, there is only one life. We divide it into fragments, into this and that. But there is only one living system. The whole universe is a living system. And we are an integral part of it. It's like an ecosystem that has many living components, or non-living. Single system, quantum field. People are talking quantum field. I had shared copies of this with the members that are already here. I don't know if all of you are members of the study group. And I want to just read the translation. This Upanishad was written by Angiras, sage Angiras. The Purusha is threefold, namely the outer Atman and the Paramatman. The two layers of skin, epidermis and dermis, the nails, the flesh, the hair, the fingers, thumbs, the backbone, the nails, the ankles, the belly, the navel, the hips, thighs, the cheeks, and the eyebrows, the forehead and the arms, the side head and the small veins and nerves, the eyes and ear. That which has these and which is born and dies is called outer Atman or Bahyatma, which is the Dehatma or Bahyatma, which is born and it dies. It gets old, has some problems and it dies. So that is outer Atma or Bahyatma. Now what is Antaratma, which is the mental being? Now about the inner Atman. Verily, he is the Purusha, who by his perceiving the earth, water, fire, and ether, the five elements, Panchamahabhuta, then desire, aversion, pleasure, pain, lust, delusion, doubt, some feelings that we have and the thoughts, who by his acute and grave, short and long, protracted and faltered, shouted abruptly broken, mixed syllables, this is about language, and who by his sensibility to dancing, music, vocal and instrumental, it describes the music, speech, instrumental communication, loss of consciousness, yawning. You feel drowsy, sleepy, you sleep. He is the hearer, smeller, taster, thinker, comprehender, and discriminating self, whose sign is memory. His main sign is memory. See, as I showed you, Antaratma, the inner being, is entirely dependent on memory. If you do not recall the memory, there is no Antaratma, there is no mind. The mind becomes absolutely transparent, as if it doesn't exist. Only yesterday afternoon I had that experience. I had similar experience on December 20th. You wake up with absolute clarity. no thoughts, no problems, nothing. You are completely at peace with yourself, blissful, happy, one with everything that's happening. There is no problem, nothing. No words, no thoughts, no wants, no desire. There is a state like that. They call it Turiya or Turiya-like state. So memory is the one that creates all this world, that creates the Maya, that creates our experience of this and that and that and that. And of course, memory is important. That's how we use language. We use writing, communicating. And we create based on memory and imagination. We create a cell phone, a clock, a brain, all that.